everyone, in this video we will cover the current affairs. I am Nuzhat Sana. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GK Today Academy app. You can attend the quizzes on this app for better practice, and after that you can also read the detailed explanation of the questions you have missed. For regular updates, please check our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Okay. Also, our latest initiative is UPSC Prelims Test Series for 2021 and 2022 in GK Today Academy app. So if you are appearing in UPSC Prelims, you may consider joining this. So now, without wasting any further time, let's get started. So today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 8th and 9th of August 2021. Starting with very first question, which state government has launched Bhu Camp Alert app? So recently the state government of Uttarakhand has launched an earthquake alert application named as Bhu Camp Alert. Okay, and this app has been developed by IIT Roorkee and Uttarakhand State Disaster Management Authority. So now this app will send early warning messages before the earthquake, and it will also help in tracing the location of people who are stuck during the earthquake, and hence will send the alert to the concerned authorities. Okay. Apart from it, Uttarakhand was also in news because here first Orchid Conservation Center of North India has been inaugurated recently. Who is our new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand? It's Pushkar Singh Dhami. Also, Uttarakhand has launched a scheme named as Mukhyamantri Vatsalya Yojana, and under this program 3,000 rupees would be directly transferred into accounts of children who have lost their parents or the earning member of their family due to COVID-19 pandemic. So under this, free education, ration and health facilities would be provided to the children till the age of 21 years. Then there is one campaign from Madhya Pradesh. It is Ek Mask Anek Zindagi. And this has been launched in Madhya Pradesh to spread awareness about wearing mask as a preventive step towards controlling the spread of COVID-19. Okay. Also, to commemorate the 75 years of India's independence, Chhattisgarh is to launch an awareness campaign named as Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav for youth, and it will be launched from 12th of August. So this belongs to Chhattisgarh. So these are some of the important campaigns and schemes. Question number 2. Union Cabinet has approved an academic program MOU between Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, that is IIST, and which university? So recently the Union Cabinet has given its approval of Memorandum of Understanding between IIST and Delft University of Technology for carrying out research activities and academic programs which will involve faculty and students from each institution. Fine. Apart from it, in the previous lecture we have seen that Maldives style water villas will be set up soon in Lakshadweep using public-private partnership model. Apart from it, recently the Indian Meteorological Department has undertaken installation of agro-automatic weather stations to provide exact weather forecast to the people, especially to the farmers. Okay, and this installation was done at District Agromate units, which is located in the Krishi Vigyan Kendras under the Indian Council of Agriculture Research Network. Okay. Also recently, Union Government has given its approval for the formation of a central university in which Union Territory? In Ladakh. And the project cost for the formation of this university will be 750 crore rupees. Question number 3. Who became the second Indian wrestler to qualify for the gold medal clash at the Olympic Games? So recently Ravi Kumar Dahiya became the second Indian wrestler to qualify for the gold medal clash at the Olympic Games when he won the 57 kg semi-finals by pinning whom? Nur Islam Sanayev of Kazakhstan at the ongoing Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Also, there is one proud moment for India. Recently, Neeraj Chopra has won the historic gold medal in men's javelin on 7th of August. So do remember that with this, Neeraj Chopra has become only the second Indian to win an individual gold in the Olympics, and he belongs to Panipat, Haryana. Also recently, Indian boxer Lovlina Borgohain has won the bronze medal in the women's welterweight 69 kg category at the Tokyo Olympics, and she belongs to Assam. Apart from it, recently the Indian men's hockey team has claimed an Olympic medal after 41 years, beating which country? Germany. Then already we have talked about PV Sindhu. She is the first Indian woman to win 2 Olympic medals because recently she has won her bronze medal at the Tokyo Olympics 2020 and the first silver medal she won at Rio Olympics 2016. So these are some of the updates regarding Tokyo Olympics. Question number 4. Which Indian state government will present its first ever paperless budget on 13th August? So the Assembly of Tamil Nadu will witness its first ever paperless budget session with PTR, who is State Finance Minister, and he is set to present the revised budget for 2020 to 2021 on 13th of August. So this will be Tamil Nadu's first e-budget. Now apart from it, recently Madras High Court has revoked a law that was passed by the state government of Tamil Nadu which banned online games like poker, rummy and various other skill-based games that involve stakes. So quashing an amendment on the Tamil Nadu Gaming Act that banned online games, the court stated that complete ban on online games is disproportionate and irrational. So that's why Madras High Court has quashed Tamil Nadu's law banning online games. Fine. Now apart from it, ABC, that is Animal Birth Control Center at Konakkarai in Tamil Nadu has become operational once again. It was actually opened in the year 2018, but it remained idle for several months. But now it has been made operational and it will engage a private veterinarian for the sterilization drive. Apart from it, Tamil Nadu was also in news because recently it has launched a scheme named as Makkalai Thedi Maruthuvam program. Why? To deliver essential healthcare at the doorstep of the people. So under this scheme, those who are above 45 years of age and others with infirmities will be screened through routine door-to-door checkups and detect non-communicable diseases that are also seen to cause sudden mortalities and impact the quality of life. So the plan will depend on public health workers, women health volunteers, physiotherapists and nurses who will provide medical services at the doorstep. So this scheme belongs to Tamil Nadu. Question number 5. For which state or union territory the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade has notified a new scheme for industrial development? So recently the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade has notified about a new central sector scheme for industrial development of Jammu Kashmir with an amount of 28,400 crore rupees. And this scheme is applicable for any eligible industrial or you can say manufacturing entity or eligible service sector enterprise other than those run departmentally by government. Now apart from it, recently BRO, that is Border Roads Organization, has constructed the highest motorable road in the world at a height of 19,300 feet at Umlingla Pass in the eastern Ladakh. And this construction has created a record in high altitude road construction. So this newly constructed road by BRO will now connect the important towns in Chumar sector of eastern Ladakh. Also do remember that Ladakh is the first union territory of India to achieve 100% coverage of first dose COVID-19 vaccination. Also Ladakh was in news because few days back it has launched a scheme named as UNTAB scheme for the students, and under it 12,300 tablets is to be distributed there at Ladakh, and it is an initiative of Department of School Education. Now, who is Lieutenant Governor of Ladakh? It's R.K. Mathur. Talking about Jammu Kashmir, Lieutenant Governor is Manoj Sinha. And do remember that former Lieutenant Governor of Jammu Kashmir, G.C. Murmu, has been appointed as External Auditor of OPCW, that is Organization of Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, the headquarters of which lies in Hague, Netherlands. Question number 6. With whom India has resumed negotiations for free trade agreement? So recently India and the European Union have agreed to resume the negotiations for an ambitious, balanced and mutually beneficial and comprehensive trade agreement. And this free trade agreement negotiations are to be held considering the interest of both India and European Union. Now, apart from it, recently Bharat Electronics Limited has been nominated to execute the project of enhancement of digital appeal at National War Memorial. And the construction cost towards establishing the National War Memorial is 176.65 crore rupees. Also recently, the Government of India has approved development of 11 industrial corridors with 32 projects which will be developed in 4 phases around the country as a part of National Industrial Corridor Program. Fine. Question number 7. Which government has approved 66% salary hike for MLAs? So recently Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal gave nod to proposal of 66% salary hike for MLAs of the Delhi government. So this hike has come after a decade to raise existing monthly salary and allowances of MLAs from 54,000 rupees to 90,000 rupees. Also recently Delhi has initiated a campaign named as Delhi@2047. And what is this? So the aim of this program is to build partnerships with the private sectors, CSR initiatives and various organizations to achieve the vision for Delhi by the year 2047 and make Delhi as a global city in the world. So the main objective is to increase Delhi per capita up to the level of Singapore, and also to provide 24/7 water supply before the upcoming elections so that they can bid for the 2048 Olympics. Apart from it, Delhi government has approved its policy to promote medical oxygen production, to provide incentives to the private sector so that they can invest in production plants, tankers and storage facilities for the medical oxygen. Then there is one Yojana from Delhi. It's Mukhyamantri COVID-19 Parivar Arthik Sahayata Yojana. And under this, the financial assistance would be provided to the families who have lost a member due to COVID-19 pandemic. Then obviously there is Jahan Vote Wahan Vaccination. It also belongs to Delhi. And under this, people who are aged 45 or 45 plus, they can directly get vaccinated at their respective polling stations. Question number 8. With which international agency Government of India has signed a $250 million project for long-term dam safety program? So recently the Government of India, Central Water Commission and government representatives from 10 participating states along with World Bank has signed a $250 million project for long-term dam safety program and improving the safety and performance of existing dams across various states of India. So your correct answer is option number D. And the project will be implemented in approximately 120 dams across various states at the national level through CWC, that is Central Water Commission. Now apart from it, recently Ministry of Defence has approved the establishment of Defence Cyber Agency. Why? To mitigate various cyber threats, all the 3 armed force services have established their respective CERT, that is Cyber Emergency Response Teams, and also the Government of India is formulating the National Cyber Security Strategy which is currently in the final stages of approval. Now apart from it, recently the 8th meeting of Ministers of Justice of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization member states was held on 6th of August and it was attended by our Union Minister of Law and Justice, who is Kiran Rijiju. So the Ministers of Justice and senior experts from various countries also participated in this event. Question number 9. Under which survey conducted by National Sample Survey Office, it is showing that poverty in India is on the rise? So this is Consumption Expenditure Survey and it is conducted by National Sample Survey Office every 5 years. But what happened is, this CES data has not been released since 2011 to 2012. And under this survey, there are clear indications now that poverty in India is on rise again. Actually, last time this survey was made in the year 2017 to 18, but its data was not made public by the government. So a new CES is likely to be conducted in 2021 to 22, for which data will be available by the end of 2022. Now apart from it, World Health Organization on 23rd July has launched its first regional states report on drowning prevention in Southeast Asia and Western Pacific regions. And according to it, nearly 2/3 of all global deaths due to drowning occur in Asia Pacific region. And also drowning is the third leading cause of unintentional injury and death worldwide. Then apart from it, recently a study was conducted by Danone India, which is a French packaged foods and beverages company, along with CII, and according to it, 46.2% Indians report a poor quality life on basis of total 4 aspects. And what are these? First is physiological health, second is physical health, third is environment, and fourth one is social relationship. Okay. So on the basis of these factors, 46.2% of Indians report a poor quality of life. Coming to last question, in which Indian city 2 major smart city projects will be inaugurated? So 2 major projects developed under Smart City Initiative of GVMC, that is Greater Visakhapatnam Municipal Corporation, are ready for inauguration in obviously Visakhapatnam. So under the Smart City Initiative, VUDA, that is VUDA, or you can say VMRDA parks on Beach Road, and MLCP, that is multi-level car parking project at Jagdamba Junction has been completed. Now apart from it, recently 2 cities from Madhya Pradesh have been selected by UNESCO under Historic Urban Landscape Project. And which are these 2 cities? First is Gwalior and the second one is Orchha. Also, India's second village of books is to be set up in a village in the state of Kerala, and the first village of book lies in Satara district of Maharashtra. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nusrat Sana signing off.